Hello, my name is Chelb and this is Phasecraft Collective, your weekly check-in with the tarot to see what vibes, what energy, what choices will be with us as we move through the week ahead. This week, we are running with the energy of a full moon in Libra and total lunar eclipse, and that is a lot to grapple with. So right off the bat, just know that if things feel a little wobbly, if things feel a little different, if things feel a little bit uncertain, that is okay. Eclipses tend to throw us off center for better or worse and make us come face to face with things that are difficult or things that we don't necessarily want to think about all that hard. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We will begin by just taking a minute to ground and center together. So if you'd like, you can join me in closing your eyes. You might choose to put your hands on your heart or on your belly and just take a couple of breaths to get centered and get grounded and get present. Feel yourself here, feel yourself in your body, feel yourself in space, and know that you are here and that you are okay. Let's take a big deep breath together. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, HA, like a sigh. And let's do that one more time. Inhale through your nose. Sigh it out your mouth. Now let yourself just breathe with your own normal rhythm, your own normal breath. Giving a little bit of extra attention to your exhales. Feel the heat of your exhales every time it comes out of your nose or your mouth. And imagine that heat building on itself with every breath out until it comes into tangible form as a little ball of golden glowing light. Imagine each breath expands that orb of golden light and growing it further and further until it reaches past you and encircles you, until it is a huge sphere enclosing you entirely and holding you in this space. You might imagine a circle of stones or flowers rising up from the ground, protective roses, a hedge of rosemary, a visible circle, keeping out all unwanted and negative energy and holding you in protective peace. We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, peace, protection, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is. And take another couple of breaths or however many you need, and as you are ready, open your eyes. Cool. So, as I already said, the energy this week is a little all over the place astrologically. So I'm giving my deck a little bit of an extra shuffle, knock, and cleanse. If you've been here before, you know I like to just shuffle the cards and see what comes out. I'm not huge on cutting the deck or using spreads unless I feel called to do so. And if you personally want to get more in touch with reading intuitively, not relying on spreads or guidebooks, I do have my registration open for my introductory tarot course, Phasecraft. which starts in April. So we're just seeing what the energy holds, asking what we all most need to know moving forward into this slightly chaotic week. Oh, and I'll have the link to all the information about Phasecraft in the description of this episode. How could I mention it and then not tell you where to find the information? In addition to the full moon and eclipse, we are in the shadow period of our next Mercury retrograde, which starts on April 1st, on April Fool's Day. And the next episode of this podcast / YouTube series will be posted. So lots of, again, chaotic energy. But so far, our cards are looking pretty good. I'm just going to give it one more good, I'm just going to say I'm going to give it one more good shuffle here and see if anything else comes out. And I think we're in a good place to start. Yes. Cool. All right. So, the Four of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. The Seven of Swords is where I want to start with this. So the Seven of Swords is usually a card about secrecy, about things being hidden, about mischief, which is exactly what eclipse season is bringing to us. So with the Seven of Swords, we're really looking at not only what other people, what external forces might not be quite close to the surface, but also what we are hiding from ourselves, how we are maybe acting a little bit out of alignment, maybe a little deceitful, and maybe not intentionally, maybe in a way that is protective of us. I mean, the Nine of Pentacles is a very abundant card, so maybe you've been keeping things, playing your cards close to your chest, keeping things under wraps, protecting yourself by not giving the full information or the full picture to someone or something. And the Four of Cups is also an indication of something being missed. So by doing so, by protecting your assets, by protecting your abundance, by protecting your peace, by hiding something, you are missing something. The Four of Cups is oftentimes talking about our obsession with what is right in front of us, with focusing too much on the material, on the immediate, on the right now, and not opening ourselves up enough to whatever universe wants to share with us, to messages, opportunities, intuitive development in a way that can help us, expand and move beyond. I do this looking up motion because that is what it is. It is this reminder that all we have to do is look up and not be so concerned with the tangible and what is here and now. While that is important, if we raise our eyes a little bit and open ourselves up to possibility and open ourselves up to what the universe wants to hand down to us, we are able to more thoroughly, more more intuitively align with how we want to move forward. And the Knight of Swords, strength, and the Queen of Wands. Ooh. So there is this aspect of trusting your own voice here, of putting yourself forward in pursuit of truth, in pursuit of knowledge, and in pursuit of standing up for what you know to be right. The Queen of Wands is our how we stand into our power, how we show up for ourselves in a way that is inspiring to others, in a way that blazes a trail forward for other people to live authentically. And the Knight of Swords is that quest, that seeking for truth and justice in a way that is powerful, in a way that is meaningful, and in a way that is, I mean, I've said truth now about 50 times, but true to exactly what you want and what you are meant to have. And strength in this deck, and in most decks pre like 1910, is card number 11. So while we have talked about strength being the card of the year, if you are in tune with like that side of things, in older decks, strength is not the card of the year, but I don't have to talk about that right now. Strength being the card of the year, being a card that speaks to our connection to our emotional intelligence and our ability to not avoid what is difficult, but sit with and work with what is difficult. So from like the Seven of Swords place to this Knight of Swords place, well, moving through strength to get to a place where you are no longer hiding what is true, and instead stepping forward and saying what is true, speaking truth to power, standing up for injustices, being a voice of reason. The Knight of Wands here as well. Again, like really beautiful, but sometimes dangerous energy of blazing a path forward. The Knight of Wands is very inspiring. It's very tied to momentum and inspiration and like really quick moving thoughts, projects, feelings, whatever. But we have to be careful when we are engaging in intense work that we do not burn out. Do not burn so fast and so hard that your flame extinguishes before you can even get to that Knight of Swords place where you are truly embodying truth. Again, where's the counter for how many times I've said truth? All right. This is some interesting energy to kind of finish out this first kind of pull here. We have the Three of Cups and the Ten of Swords reversed and the Ace of Cups reversed. And this is really communicating that there is something stuck in how we connect with the people around us. The Ten of Swords is a very like, it's the rock bottom card. It's like feeling like things are really bad. And for me in the reverse, this is kind of indicating that we are way too stuck, kind of again, back in the Four of Cups place, way too focused on everything that is bad that we can't even see the sun coming up on the horizon. We can't even see the work and the way forward. And the Ace and Three of Cups being cards about connecting with other people, about how our emotions lead us to relate and relationship, platonic and romantic. The Three of Cups is like a very big friendship card, and the Ace of Cups being like, a lot of times people talk about the Ace of Cups as like a new relationship card or whatever, but aces are really just a beginning of, in the sense of cups, a beginning of something to do with our emotions, something to do, again, with relationships, something to do with our intuition, our creative process, all the things that are tied to who we are in our, again, emotional intelligence, the strength. So there's this energy with all these reversals of all this kind of being caught up and stuck and not knowing quite how to find that connection, and being so, again, like really entrenched in not being able to quite see what the universe is handing out to you, or again, potentially holding your cards too close to your chest. Maybe you're speaking up, you're speaking out, you're blazing forward in a way that other people just can't quite catch up to you. Or maybe this Seven of Swords is, whoa, not being open to listening to other people who want to share their truth, their inspiration with you. So, how can we move through this energy? How can we open ourselves up to these relationships, to this sense of community? How can we get unstuck? Okay, 3 and 4 of Wands. Oh, excuse me, they're swords. This is always the interesting part of reading with older decks. Sometimes the wands and the swords look kind of similar. But the 3 and 4 of Swords, it is working with grief. The 3 of Swords is grief and heartbreak, and not just the experience of it, but how we work through it. And the 4 of Swords being rest, which is exactly it for eclipse season. Here's the 3 of Swords. Rest, being able to step back and look at the big picture, and really see your place in all of it. The 4 of Swords is not passive rest, it's active rest. It is, again, taking a step back so that you can see what's truly happening, but at the same time, recuperating yourself and getting yourself to a place where you can actually move forward. Five of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, the Emperor. If things feel really hard and really scarce and really lacking at the moment, I would encourage you to explore what your act, what your role in the current situation has been. Now, before I say anything else, this is not to say that you are responsible for everything in your life. Systems of oppression exist. Issues with mental and physical health that are out of our control exist. And how we work through them is often how we are able to find a place of mental, maybe not peace, but acceptance. That is, again, not passive, but acceptance, and then an okay, what do I do next? The Emperor, speaking to institutions and power and systems that we operate within, and how we choose to work with them or against them. And that is a really big theme right now for all of us. All the knights are coming out. The Knight of Pentacles, when confronted with a plan, a choice, a way to move forward, instead of blazing forward to a point where you burn out, how can you instead make plans? I just had a card, run away, and I'm going to call it our final card. How can you evaluate, take your time, make plans so that you can create change within the systems that we currently live in? Again, working with what we have access to now so that we can eventually change it completely. Let me grab the card that ran away. 6 of Pentacles, give and take, mutual aid, working together, not only asking for help, but giving it, not only giving help, but asking for it. The only way to move forward from here is together, is to share our resources and use them to build a structure, a system that we can all mutually benefit from. And that's where I'm going to leave it this week, which is some major energy. So just sit with that. And as with any collective reading, if this doesn't feel like it lands, that's totally okay. I'm reading for, I think I have a total of 30 listeners and watchers so far. So I'm reading for you 30, but potentially, maybe someday thousands of people. So is it going to fully align? Maybe not. But I invite you to think about it, to sit with it, to come back to it at the end of the week and see maybe what has come up. And then come back next week on April 1st to see what comes next. Awesome. Cool. Let's close our circle and release the energies that we can all move about our day and get into this week. You can close your eyes again if it feels safe and good to do so, and bring your hands back to your heart if that is what you choose. If you put up a circle of stones or flowers or rosemary, take an inhale and smell it, sense it. The dust of the stone, the sweet, yet sometimes bitter fragrance of the rose, the rich, fragrant, delightful protection of rosemary. Exhale out your mouth once more. Blow the petals to the wind. Scatter the points of the rosemary, crumble the stones into sand, and send it out away from you. Imagine that sphere of golden light once more and bring your attention into your inhales. Imagining it shrinking and coming towards you with each breath in, until the golden light settles on top of your skin, creating a full body armor that finally sinks in, merging with you to carry this sense of protection with you everywhere you go. I now send your energy back to you, whole, complete, and intact. And I take my energy back to myself, whole, complete, and intact. May we all remain friends, though our energies are no longer cross-corded or tangled at all, starting now. Take a breath, feel your energy settle into you, all yours. The circle is open, and so it is. Thank you so much for being here. If at any point you heard some wild noises coming from outside, it was my cat desperately trying to get in and join us, and maybe next time I'll just let him in. But as always, thank you so much. You can find information about the deck I used and all my upcoming events in the description. I'll see you next week.